Breaking news, the Trump administration hands over 79 million Medicaid recipients data to ICE. What? Let me say this again. The Trump administration is now handing over 79 million Americans Medicaid data to ICE. This is breaking in the AP. It has not been announced publicly, and they are specifically giving people's names, people's addresses, their birthday, their ethnicity, their race, and their social security numbers to ICE, to Department of Homeland Security. Here is the latest, and this is breaking as I speak right now. 79 million Medicaid enrollees, including their home address and the other information, is going to be given to ICE. The Associated Press has got a copy of the agreement that has not been made public yet. Donald Trump and his administration have approved this. It is signed Monday between the Centers for Medicare, and Medicaid Services and Department of Homeland Security. Just wait until the rest of our information that's in Medicare is given to them. They're giving them everything we've got. I mean, we're going back to George Orwell's, Big Brother and Germany in the 1930s. It gets worse and gets worse. Currently, 20 states have sued the government to stop this, but apparently they're going ahead, even though that is under lawsuit. They have requested the Department of Justice that this is stopped and paused while the lawsuits are going on, but don't know what's going to happen, don't know what this is going to happen with the courts. Again, lawmakers, both in Congress and in the Senate, have raised their concern about this, and even officials with the Center for Medicaid Services have likewise said this is not legal and it probably violates all privacy laws. What do you think? You want your personal health information, everything shared with ICE?
This isn't just a violation of privacy. This is a dangerous precedent that threatens the rights and dignity of everyday Americans, regardless of immigration status. Things are going too far in America. No break. And Trump is doing too much. No one on Medicaid is undocumented. So what do they need the data for? This is incredibly frightening. Let's break down what this shocking decision means and why many Americans are calling it unconstitutional. Stay with us.
This is one of the most dangerous things this administration has done, and they do not want you to notice. Okay? Please listen. The administration has handed over all personal data for everyone enrolled in Medicaid to ICE. That is over 79 million people. They have access to your personal data, your address, your health records, all of it has just been handed over to ICE. This is not speculation. This is a signed agreement between the Centers for Medicaid and Medicare Services and Homeland Security. And the goal of this, a direct quote, is to find the location of aliens. That is a direct quote from them. And let's talk about the fact that this is probably illegal because HIPAA exists. It protects your medical information. Your privacy rights don't just disappear because you're on Medicaid. And the government does not get to weaponize your healthcare against you. So this is probably illegal. So no, this is not about immigration status. This is about them using health programs to target people based on their ethnicity and their zip code. And if you think that you're safe, ask yourself, why does ICE need everyone's data? Ask yourself that. If this stands, there is absolutely no limit as to where they're going to go next. So we have to stop this. And we can, okay? Call your local Medicaid office and ask if they are participating in this, because states can block this. You can also flood your governor's phone line and demand that they cut off ICE. Cut them off. Donezoed. Also, stay loud and spread the story and let everyone know that we all know what's going on. Because they didn't want us to know about this. They're trying to distract us with everything else going on so that they can do this under the rug. And we cannot let them do that. We cannot let them normalize this. We cannot let them distract us and we cannot let them use.
Do you remember when the Democrats lied to us, stating that there were no illegals on the Medicaid system? Well, just in, ICE has now been granted access to that Medicaid data system to track these illegals down and deport them. I cannot wait until the numbers come in. The state of California alone, if you go and look into their Medicaid system, I promise you, we will deport not only thousands, but maybe millions. Hopefully, it includes the administrators who have circumvented the procedure to make money and take advantage of our tax system. I'm telling you, the state of California, any blue state, there will be mass deportation because of this system alone. Watch, when the numbers comes in, it will be mind-blowing, the amount of illegals that are in our welfare system that was meant for the American citizens.
So ICE now has access to the personal information of 79 million Medicaid recipients for the purposes of racial profiling, so they can try to find some undocumented immigrants that might be collecting on Medicaid. While that's probably a wild goose chase in and of itself, here's the bigger question that I have. If we're so certain that so many of these undocumented immigrants are actual criminals, then why do we keep doing things that makes it look like we don't know that they're actual criminals? Why do you need to look at 79 million Medicaid recipient records if you know who the bad guys are? You see, this has been the big lie all along. We know there's bad guys in the country, but we don't know where, and we don't know how many, so we'll just infringe on everybody's personal liberties in the meantime.
1 in 4 Americans have had their Medicaid data handed to ICE. Not criminals, not fugitives, everyday citizens, families, children, and the elderly. Why would immigration enforcement need access to a health database? This is massive. Critics say this isn't about border security. It's about racial profiling and building a database vulnerable people who can be targeted. Americans are furious. Social media is flooded with posts calling this the biggest betrayal of public trust in years. People say this isn't about illegals anymore. This is about all of us. ICE could come after anyone with this data. Lawyers are already sounding the alarm, calling this unconstitutional, violation of privacy, and due process. Medicaid is a health program, not a surveillance system. And here's where it gets even more troubling. Advocacy groups are warning that this data is being used to disproportionately target Black, Latino, and immigrant communities, people who are already marginalized in the healthcare system. One activist say, if you're brown and poor in America, now your doctor could be the reason ICE shows up at your door. Whether you're a citizen or not, this raises a terrifying question. Is anyone safe anymore?
The Trump administration has said that it will give ICE access to Medicaid recipients' information, including their addresses, so this is your reminder that undocumented people cannot access Medicaid. They can't access Medicaid. So the Trump administration is giving ICE American citizens' information. Not that we didn't know that. Not that we didn't know that American citizens were also being detained by ICE. But just as a reminder, undocumented people cannot access Medicaid. So the information that the Trump administration is giving ICE is solely American citizens' information. Just so you know.
Donald Trump is literally turning the United States into a surveillance state. They're building a massive system that's going to give ICE access to millions of Americans' IRS data. This includes your tax records and addresses. This computer program will give ICE on-demand access to taxpayers' data so they can hunt down and deport people that they want to deport. What's crazy is that internal emails are showing the agency's own general counsel is warning that ICE's request to access 7.3 million records is illegal. The guy who warned about this was then fired 2 days later. Their goal is to launch this system by the end of July and deport 3,000 people a day. I can't help but wonder how many of these people are going to be innocent American citizens or immigrants that are here legally. Think about what they're doing here. They're literally weaponizing the IRS, an agency that holds some of your most sensitive information. And it's being handed over to ICE for mass deportations. No warrants, no court oversight, just raw access to your home address via tax records. And if they're doing this to 7 million Americans today, what's stopping them from expanding it to political opponents? What we are witnessing is surveillance and authoritarianism in the United States.
It's a really dangerous time in the US to not be a white person. If you are a person of color, you are likely taking all of your documentation, your passport, your driver's license, anything else that you have, to walk your dog. Just imagine that for a second. You leave your house and you don't know if you will be stopped by ICE. You might have been born and raised here and never set foot in another country, but you fear getting stopped and detained and worse by an organization in the United States. I'm not sure that people around the world know how dangerous it is right now. I'm a therapist and I have many clients who are moving out of this country due to the fear of what could happen to them. That is a genuine problem. If you support what ICE is doing in the US right now, you are on the wrong side of history.
Now, more than 79 million Americans will now have their rights violated as Medicaid and Social Security will be sharing their information with ICE. Yes, just the way you guys heard it, meaning that they're going to be able to get the records of phone numbers, addresses, personal information. This literally violates so many laws, so many rights on so many levels. It's not even funny, but this just goes to show the world we are living in, right? This just goes to show how the government is taking advantage of so many people, including U.S. citizens, including Americans. Guys, please share this, spread the news. This is like really amazing to me. I just cannot believe how it's one thing after another, and we just can't seem to get a break with the government. You know, but at the end of the day, I said it once and I'm going to say it again, okay? If we all come together, if we all unite, we are more, we are better, we are stronger than them.
So why do you think Trump wants the Medicaid information to be given to ICE? What about our Social Security information that they got and from the Federal Reserve? Basically everything they need to have a data profile built on each of us to find out if we meet Trump's merit-based society. I wonder what's going to happen to those of us who don't measure up, who can't work, who need Medicaid to survive, who can't contribute to society because we already did and we got sick. Wonder what's going to happen to us. Makes me nervous that they're building a whole bunch more of those prisons, huh? I wonder who they're going to put in there.
This development has left many Americans shaken, not just those on Medicaid, but anyone who believes in basic rights and protections under the law. When health data meant to care for vulnerable populations is turned into a tool for surveillance, we have to ask, where does it stop? This isn't just about immigration. It's about how far a government can go in the name of enforcement. It's about trust, privacy, and the ethical use of public programs. If we begin weaponizing healthcare information against our own citizens or residents based on race, status, or background, then we've crossed a very dangerous line. Whether or not lawsuits are filed or Congress responds, one thing is clear. This decision has ignited a new level of civic resistance and legal scrutiny. ICE is not above the law. and neither is any administration. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Do you believe this is a breach of constitutional rights? Are Americans' rights to be worried? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Woken Africa for more in-depth analysis on the issues that matter. Thanks for your time and see you in the next video.